Good morning, grade 4. Miss Ellie here. Welcome to our science lesson. Today, I'm going to explain lesson 2 of Unit 8, which is about what renewable resources are used for energy. I believe in the previous lesson, we already discussed the differences between renewable and non-renewable resources. But I don't want you to get confused, guys. So please remember that when you say renewable resources, those are the resources that can be replenished without a reasonable amount of time. Okay, so now let's find out the learning objective of the lesson. All right, so we're going to explore the advantages and disadvantages of renewable energy resources to evaluate information about their influence on society and the world. So here we are going to identify the pros and the cons of those energy resources. And at the same time, we will find out, guys, the effects each way of energy generation has on to our environment. Cloudy days, no wind, little water. Take a look at these pictures. If you stand in the middle of a vegetable farm, definitely you see different kinds of crops, right? And here, if you stand in the middle of a wind farm, you see rows of wind turbines like this in the picture. So wind farms are built in every windy areas. But before I proceed grade 4, I have a question for you. What do you think, guys, makes the turbine spin? I guess your answer is correct. The wind actually and the moving water make the turbine spin, which produce electricity. So the electricity from this device goes to an electricity generating plant and then to home and businesses. So like this example down here, it is a solar panel which can be installed actually directly onto houses. And I want you to remember, grade 4, that energy can be stored for use. So when there's no wind, no sun, backup sources of energy can be used to meet people's needs of energy. So that way, no one is left without electricity. So it's interesting, guys, right? Now let's discover more about renewable energy resources by watching this video.
Wind is a renewable resource. Wind can turn turbines to produce electricity. This source of electrical energy depends on weather conditions. Strong winds produce more energy than weaker winds do. When there is no wind, no electrical energy is produced by the turbines. So the house gets its electricity from another source. Solar energy is a renewable resource. Sunlight can be converted to electricity in solar cells. This source of electrical energy depends on weather conditions. More electricity can be produced on sunny days than on cloudy days. At night, solar cells do not produce any electricity. The house will get its electricity from another source. Hydroelectric energy is a renewable resource. Moving water can turn turbines to produce electricity. This source of electrical energy depends on a supply of water, usually collected behind a dam. A high water level produces steady energy. If the water level gets too low, the power output of the turbines decreases. But other sources will supply it if the water level is too low.
All right, class, so you've just watched about various renewable energy resources as wind, solar, and hydro. Now let's find out how much you remember or understood from the video. So we have a quick check here. I have one question for you guys. So which statement best summarizes what a video shows about renewable energy resources? So choose your best answer from these 3 choices. So A, wind, water, and solar energy systems all produce the same amount of energy all the time. Or B, water power always produces the most electricity. Or C, the amount of electricity produced by solar, wind, and water power changes depending on conditions. So what do you think, guys, is the best answer? Think of your answer in this question. All right, so let's find out if your choice is correct. Okay, so the answer is letter C. So the amount of electricity produced by solar, wind, water power changes depending on conditions. So meaning to say grade 4, there are several factors, guys, that affect the efficiency or the effectivity of a certain renewable energy resource that we have. So the speed of the wind or the weather conditions or the supplies of water are some of the conditions. All right, so now let's proceed here. Now I want you to examine these pictures and look at the relationship between the amounts of sunlight and the energy being produced. And we have one question down here. All right, so first let's study. It says here, solar panels on partly cloudy day. So it's partly because this one, guys, is partly sunny at the same time. And this one, the energy or the amount of energy being produced. On here is just cloudy. And this is the amount of energy being produced. And by the way, when you see solar panel, this is the one that we can find in top of the houses. Right, so what do you think the answer here? So what can you conclude from the images of solar panels? So let's discuss the answer. So we all agreed for that solar panels get their energy from the sunlight. Therefore, they work better on days when there is more sunlight, obviously, right? So in short, grade 4, less sunlight means less efficient. Okay, so now let me discuss with you the benefits and drawbacks of those renewable energy resources. Okay, so when you say benefits, guys, so those are the advantages or the good side, and drawbacks are the disadvantages. So we all know that renewable resources have several benefits compared with non-renewable energy resources. So let's find out here. So it says that renewable energy resources will never be used up and do not pollute the air. And that sounds amazing, isn't it? However, there are some drawbacks to using these renewable energy resources. And that's the thing that we are going to find out, guys. So first, we have some pictures of these energy resources. Okay, so this one is a solar panel. We have hydroelectric dam, and we have geothermal plant. By the way, grade 4, when you say hydro means water. Okay, so these three things, grade 4, these three renewable energy resources that we have here, one of the disadvantages, guys, is that it can be expensive to build or set up. This one, the solar panel, it's very expensive that not everyone, guys, can afford it. Okay, and this two, hydroelectric dam and the geothermal plant, it takes a lot of time and it takes huge cost for you to build this. Okay, and let's have some more here. Okay, so we have wind turbine and biomass plant. So biomass may sound complicated, but it isn't. If you still remember in our SST lesson, we already talked about this biomass plant. So if you remember, guys, it is a material made by plants and animals that we convert into energy. So let's see what are the advantages. So wind turbines and hydroelectric dams can harm wildlife. So building a dam, grade 4, so they block the fish migration or fish and other organisms can be actually injured and killed by the turbine's blades, and it destroyed forest or wildlife habitat. And then we have biomass plants, and geothermal plants can cause some pollution in the air. So we know that burning biomass emits a large amount of pollutants. Like burning garbage, it produces air pollution. Like woods, guys, it produces carbon monoxide that can be very harmful to people and to animals. And the last one is hydroelectric dams that can cause habitat loss and even flood valuable land. So this hydroelectric dam have several or cause actually reduction in animal and plant after the flooding. So before we end up this lesson week 4, I have a question here for you. So what solid waste materials is produced from burning wood? And what do you think it can be used for? All right, so here, the waste materials that produced from burning wood, we have the so-called ash, right? And then what kind of material or what it can be used for? So ash, guys, used as fertilizers. All right, so now let's wrap up the lesson. So here are the different kinds of energy. So we have biomass energy, hydropower, wind, geothermal, and solar energy. So here is the special concept. So when you say renewable energy resources, they have several advantages, especially when compared with non-renewable energy sources. However, there are some drawbacks to using renewable energy sources. All right, so that's for today's lesson grade 4. I hope you learned something. Please let me know if you have some questions and if you have some queries. So for now, bye, and I hope you will stay safe and stay home. See you soon, grade 4. Goodbye.